We're going.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. This is us back again, coming back at you.
It's been a while.
It's been ages. We've not recorded for, a solid 30 minutes.
Is that what it was?
So, we have just recorded our Sherlock special, and we thought we would jump right back in there with our actual New Year's special, which is about
summing up
the year that was 2015 and talking about our favourite things from that year. Oh yeah. So we actually do have a little bit of follow-up now, because we've not got a standalone episode. We tried to keep the Sherlock one standalone, like Moffat should have done, and didn't. So ours is actually going to be standalone, and we're going to bring some follow-up to this episode. So we only have a little bit of follow-up, and the majority of the rest of the follow-up that you would have heard from episode 2 will be either next episode or the episode after. So to start off with, episode 2 is pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good. We feel like we're now getting into the swing of things a little bit. We've got a bit of a
rhythm.
We
know what we're doing. Kind of.
We know what we're doing. We're not just winging it anymore. I think it was a really good show. When I was editing it, there wasn't really all that much to do. We were pretty solid all the way through.
Mm.
Now, I can't remember if we mentioned this at the end of episode 2, but we are now on iTunes.
Yeah.
Which is really good. You can find us, if you just type in JustCauseCast, you'll see us on there. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a little review.
Yeah, if you
that would be
nice.
That would be amazing. Every review helps. Now, do you know why we need reviews, Greg?
Me?
Yeah.
You're better at describing
We just need them.
Situations.
We just need them. Because that's how we get up the ranks and people can see us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
be
nice.
Advertised.
Exactly. We're going to be on iTunes front page.
Yeah,
New Year's resolution.
Top 10 best
podcasts 2016. Just CauseCast is going to be on there. Mark my words. We're also on YouTube, which is exactly the same. Type in Just CauseCast, and then you'll get a load of videos that's actually about Just Cause, the video game. And you have to click no relation. You have to click on the little button that says, "No, I did really mean Just CauseCast," and then you'll find us.
Little microphone.
Yeah, little microphone. Which is something else we can talk about, is that we now have a logo and a banner.
We do.
Which were kindly designed by super special guest Josh the other week. So that's our branding, which is available.
He made up for his bad language.
Yes, swearing.
No.
Tut. So we've now got a graphic which is on our Twitter and Facebook page, which we also have.
Yes.
Look at that. We're kings of social media.
At JustCauseCast.
At JustCauseCast or JustCauseCast on Facebook.
Yeah.
And Josh still doesn't have a Twitter, so if you fell in love with super special guest Josh,
you can't follow him on Twitter.
On the other episode.
But I'm sure he's got a Twitter that he doesn't know about.
Twitter.
He definitely
I've tweeted him before.
I've tweeted him or followed him or something.
Yeah.
Hashtag Josh Preston.
Well, yeah, we should get a hashtag. Get Josh on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the end of the follow up for now. The other bits of follow up that we need to do is whether Craig has done his homework or not. Spoiler.
My
he has.
Homework.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always do my homework.
So Craig's done his homework, and we will get back to that once we resume our normal episodes. And the other follow up we had was about Bitcoins, and we will also get onto that at a later episode.
Yes.
So now that we've wrapped all that up, the next thing to talk about is how was your Christmas, Craig?
I had a very good Christmas.
You had a good Christmas?
Very nice. Very quiet, peaceful, and then a bit of fun and enjoyment.
A little bit of fun?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It's always good.
What'd you get?
What did I get? I can't remember.
You can't remember.
I got some Marvel socks, which was like the highlight.
He's currently wearing.
I got a really nice framed picture of the Magic single cover by Coldplay, which I've now put up on my wall.
Yeah,
got like an art gallery in my room now.
You've got a shrine to Coldplay.
Yeah. Got very spoiled, I think.
You have?
Yeah.
I got you a present.
You did. Dancing Groot.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Dancing Groot.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and Craig got me a Spider-Man Lego set, which is currently sitting on my shelf.
It's the Ultimate Spider-Man as well.
Ultimate
really
Spider-Man.
Cool.
It was cool, and Carnage is really cool in it, and you get a little guy as well.
The pilot guy.
Pilot
Shield or something.
Yeah, I think he's Shield.
Wow.
So that was cute. I got an iPad
An iPad.
That was nice. Ooh. Got an iPad Mini 4. Yeah, I got some headphones. I got the complete James Bond collection, which Craig is very envious about.
Yeah.
Currently sitting in front of him, just teasing him.
I just want to read it all.
Yeah, so I'm currently reading Casino Royale, which brings us nicely onto what our New Year's resolutions were. What's your New Year's resolution?
Well, in terms of podcasting, my New Year's resolution is to give a bit more effort in the music and something I've listened to department.
Yeah. What's your New Year's resolution aside from that?
Aside from that, I always set myself the New Year's resolution to just have the best year of my life. So.
Have you done that every year up to now?
Yes. Well, I think so. Last year was definitely the best year of my life. So
yeah.
I can.
We're going to make it even better this year. JustCauseCast.
Yeah, exactly. It's taking off. We're going to get top 10. We'll be all right.
Top 10. Then that's it. Best year ever. So my resolution, similarly to Craig's, I used to be a bit of an avid reader. But it's fallen off the radar a little bit over the last couple of years while I've been at uni. So I'm going to get back into reading, and I'm going to start reading a lot more, starting with Casino Royale by Ian Fleming, which I'm currently reading. I'm on to chapter 2. Look at that.
Chapter 2.
Good. Far into that book.
I'm reading H is for Hawk at the moment.
Is that good?
Really good, yeah. I was like...
I really fancied that.
It's non-fiction, which was...
Yeah, I know it's like semi... It's like a story.
It feels like a fiction story, but it's beautifully
Doesn't she adopt a hawk? Is that right?
Yes,
she adopts a hawk?
Yes, she does. Yeah, right. I'm keen to talk about this in a later episode. So
okay,
we'll save that.
We'll save that. There's a little tease for you all. Teaser. Yeah. So that's it. So we're gonna listen to some more stuff, and we're gonna read some more stuff.
We are, yes.
Starting from now. We're gonna start things off our little New Year's 2015 Super Spectacular Special with a brief something we've read, haven't we? Because we've both... Well, Craig's done a lot of reading this year, but I've not done all that much reading, so I don't have too much to talk about in terms of my favourite books from this year. But I'll kick things off. Something that I did read this year was Ayoade on Ayoade, which is Richard Ayoade's autobiography. Well, I say autobiography. It's very unusually written. It's written as if it's a script for a film, and it's Ayoade interviewing himself in this script, and it's very weird. It's very, to be fair, it's very Richard Ayoade. You know who Richard Ayoade is. He's an actor, director now. He directed 2 really good films, I thought. He directed Submarine, which is a book that I've read, and he directed The Double, which is a Dostoevsky short story. He turned into a film with Jesse Eisenberg, which was I really liked that too. Aside from that, he was in the IT Crowd, where he's quite famous. He was in The Mighty Boosh as well. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He was currently doing Gadget Man.
Yeah,
it's like a channel for...
I watched an episode of that with he was doing like kitchen appliances or something. He had like a separate thing to separate eggs and egg yolks, and there's a few other things on there. It's quite cool.
Yeah, and I love Ayoade, and I think he's a really interesting guy, and he's done some interesting stuff with film. So when I heard that book was all about his films and his passions and things like that, I thought it'd be really good. And it is a really good read. I'd recommend it. It's weird.
Weird.
It is weird. It's very weird, but it was good. So yeah, that's the first of the something I've read. Do you want to tell us about your first?
Yeah.
Something you've read.
So I read Us by David Nichols this year.
Yeah.
I'd read all of his books this year because I'd got One Day. That was the first one I picked up, and absolutely loved it. I know it's supposed to be like a bit of a girly book, or
David Nichols' books are meant to be kind of girly in inverted commas, because they're not really. They're just good books as far as I'm aware.
And I loved One Day. It was great. So I decided to get all of his other books and read them. But Us came out. I think it came out in 2014, but I think it came out in paperback this year.
Right.
So I was quite excited to read it. It's about this husband and wife. I think there's like a family. Like the children are kind of grown up now. Like our age, like 20, around 20 kind of age. And they're like struggling. Kind of, I think they'll starts off with a wife like saying, "Oh, I want a divorce," but they booked this trip around Europe. So they decide to go on this trip and try and work things out.
Right.
And it's just about them traveling around Europe. It was great. Gets on the Eurostar to Paris, which is something I did this year. So
it is. Did you take the inspiration for that from Us?
It was the other way around. I'd already done that and then read about it.
That's weird.
And it talked a lot about him going around Paris, which is exciting for me. It's cool. Relive the game. And then they go on to Venice and Amsterdam, which I've been to Amsterdam as well, so that was quite cool.
Amsterdam's nice
to read about. It's just a really good read. Like all of his books are very good reads, I think.
Yeah,
they're all quite similar, like
tone-wise.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed all 4 of his books. It's fantastic read. Probably I'd say it's up there with the books this year.
Yeah.
Is
that the best book you've read?
I'm not sure. I can't really remember because I've read quite a few books this year. So, but it's
good.
It's the one I've picked as a standout book from this year that I read anyway. So
there you go, Craig seal of approval.
Stamp the hand.
There
again.
You go. So the next book that I've got is a book called Terrible Old Games You've Probably Never Heard Of by someone called Stuart Ashen. Now, Ashen is a YouTuber. He makes YouTube videos about things that he finds in the pound shop or just tat that he finds around about places. Yeah, this is genuinely what he does. And one of the series that he had was Terrible Old Games You've Probably Never Heard Of, which is about games on the ZX Spectrum or Commodore 64, really old consoles and really obscure games on those consoles. And I love Stuart Ashen. I love the channel Ashens. And he mentioned that he was writing a book and that he was going to effectively kickstart it using a website called Unbound, which is like Kickstarter but just for books.
Yeah.
So I pledged some money to him to make this book. And now, if you see a copy of that book in Waterstones or wherever, you open it up, my name's in it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
My name's in there.
Did you get a copy sent? Or?
I got a copy sent to me.
Nice.
It was a special copy that you can't buy in the shops with a holographic cover on it.
That's nice.
Yeah, and I've got my name in there, so that's good. And it is a good book as well. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
As he is, and it's interesting as well. Always had a passion for video games, and I do collect quite a few of the older generation consoles, so it's good to read about all that kind of thing.
Yeah. They are quite a cool market. Like, everyone misses the retro games.
Exactly. Well, me and Craig, we both go to a place called Fab Cafe, which is a sort of a retro themed bar in Manchester, which has old memorabilia from TV shows and films, but it also has old arcade cabinets and old arcade systems as the tables themselves. Really cool. So yeah, that's something else I've read that I really enjoyed. So do you want to talk about your?
Yeah, so I picked up Nick Frost's autobiography, but I had actually gone to met him and get it signed when I bought it, which was very exciting.
Nice.
And I picked up 2 copies, one for super special guest Josh, for his Christmas present, which he was I'm sure he was made up about. It's obviously just his memoir, entitled Half Truths and Little White Lies. It's the title, right. And then underneath he's got a memoir. So yeah, it's just about everything he's been up to so far. I think he said he wanted to write it for his son, because he just wanted to tell his story, and so his son had something to read.
Right.
So because I think he said he'd wish he'd found out more about his parents, because I think they passed away around the time Shaun of the Dead got released.
Oh, really? That's sad.
Yeah, I think he got that's what he said. He's got a call when he was touring the
I
publicity
knew that.
of Shaun of the Dead.
I did know that.
I think he said he was. I think he was at a meal with
Edgar Wright?
No,
Simon Pegg?
The director.
Edgar Wright?
No, the director guy that does Pulp Fiction guy. What's
Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino. I think he said he was at. Sure, he's met him. I know that. I think he was at a meal with him.
Nick Frost, he's not really been in that much recently. I've not seen him in anything for a little while.
He did that Cuban Fury film.
Yeah.
Recently. I say recent. I don't know. And he did a TV show called Mr. Sloan, which I really wanted to watch, but I think it was on Sky or something, and I just never got around to watching it.
He was in Doctor Who.
He was in Doctor Who, played Santa Claus.
Yeah, he played Santa Claus.
Yeah, he lived in Israel for a bit as well.
Okay, which was I didn't know that.
Is it Israel? Yeah, I think so.
Nick Frost, if you're listening,
and
we've got that wrong, don't be sending us any negative feedback.
I'm sure he lived there somewhere.
Right, yeah, I'm sure he lived somewhere.
Well, he went to some kind of camp or something.
Right.
And he said they had some kind of air raids every now and again, and he was
whoa,
in fear of his life sometimes.
Jeez,
he's had a very interesting life.
Yeah. He seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
I've seen him on interviews and things like that. He always seems...
he's cool. He's he used to work at a Mexican restaurant in London or something.
Right.
And that's how he met Simon Pegg.
Right.
Because I'd read Simon Pegg's autobiography as well, just before I read that one. And he talks about how he met him. But yeah, he met through a friend at the Mexican restaurant.
Right.
Working at. Is it Mexican? I'm thinking of one day again.
Easy to get confused between those two. Thanks, Craig.
I think that was it.
Is that it?
I think
We're wrapping up there.
I think so.
Okay, so Nick Frost.
Yeah.
Good. We both talked about an autobiography there.
It was nice. Cool. It was cool to meet as well.
Yeah. Well, did you speak to him, or was it a bit like just?
Well, he was. I said to him, because he had 2 books. He was like, "Oh, if is this for someone else?" He said, "Yeah, it's for my friend. He couldn't make it, so he just insulted him in the book."
What did he write?
Well, I can't repeat it because it's swearing and it's bad language.
Well, I'll bleep it out.
Should I just say bleep and pretend?
Yeah, just say bleep.
You beeping jerk. Am I allowed to say that word or not?
You can say jerk. Jerk's not a swear word.
For selling me out for a woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bless him. He seems like a good guy.
It was like fake anger as well, which was just brilliant.
Yeah.
It was like it was quite amusing.
So the third book that I've not read but that I listened to this year is So You've Been Publicly Shamed by John Ronson. Now I do listen to a lot of audiobooks. And this I've listened to some of John Ronson's books in the past. I listened to the Psychopath Test as an audiobook, and they're really good because John Ronson always narrates them, which I always prefer. For example, one of my all-time favourite audiobooks is On Writing by Stephen King, which is incredible. And you just hear these things that you don't expect to be in the book that just seem like it's just special for someone who's listening to it.
That's cool.
So John Ronson brought out So You've Been Publicly Shamed this year. It's great. I've always loved the way that John Ronson writes. This is effectively about people who, it's hard to phrase it. Effectively, they've done something that's been blown up by the public.
Yeah.
So they've done something bad and everyone's seen it on TV, or they've published an article and it was totally wrong and they got loads of abuse for it, things like that. And he's talking to people who've had this happen to him, like all of these viral sensations that you've seen on the news. He talks to people who've been in that situation about what happens after that. What are the next steps? What are the interviews like? What's it like for you as an individual? Do you still feel like this? And it's really, really interesting. I'd recommend it as an audiobook. I don't know what the book's like. I've not read the book. I've not got the book either. But as an audiobook, it's really good, and it's great to hear John Ronson's own passion about certain things, because you always give your own inflection when you're reading it yourself. But hearing the actual author of the story narrate it to you is
what
really
it should
good.
be read like.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I've listened to. And you said you've read a couple of John Ronson.
Yes, I have read The Psychopath Test and we need The Men Who Stare at Ghosts.
That's it, yeah. Which are both really good. Yeah, I've also read Frank, which is about Frank Sidebottom. Yeah. He's a bit of a Manchester legend, and they brought a film out about Frank Sidebottom recently with Michael Fassbender in. It was quite a good film, weird film, but it was quite a good film.
I might give it a watch.
Yeah. It was pretty good. And Psychopath Test, I think, is amazing.
The Psychopath Test was really good. I enjoyed when he was talking about the London bombings.
Yeah.
And then he went to meet that the woman who posted online about it.
Yeah.
Started a blog about it and how her experiences, and then she just got a lot of abuse about it, and how it was a government conspiracy. And was there that was led by was he led by an agent, like a secret agent,
something like that? Yeah.
Ex-agent or something.
Yeah, John Ronson's great.
Yeah, it's good. The Men Who Stare at Ghosts, I'd watched the film before I'd read it, and now
the book's very different.
Yeah, the book. Which
is understandable because it's a bit of a dramatization of the.
Yes, the book was interesting, like how all this military, bonkers military type things,
telekinesis and all that kind of thing,
which was quite cool, and how it just propaganda mostly, which is sounds about right, really. But I enjoyed both of those. I might even pick that more of his work up. Yeah, you should. I don't have a seal of approval on the show. All you've got is my word of mouth. So all I'd say is that I recommend that. It's a good read. Yeah.
All right, so we're on our final. So this has gone on longer than I thought it would. With something we've read. Yeah. Been all right. So go on, Craig. Hit me with your best shot.
Fire away. I was just generally comic books. So I was going to bring up a couple of Marvel titles. One being Hawkeye, which has been a massive hit it's a bit like Sherlock in the way that we had to wait quite a while for some issues.
We did.
I think it started in August of 2013. That was the first ever comic book that I picked up.
And you recommended it to me.
Yes,
so I've not read all of it. I've not read as much as Craig, but I've read My Body is a Weapon, which is the first sort of
first 5 issues, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I think it ran for 22 issues, maybe, with an annual, and there was a special or something.
Right.
It's one of the best comic books I've read. I've read quite a lot.
Because Hawkeye's a little bit of a...
Yeah, a secondary kind of character. Yeah. He's not one of the main events. Well, he isn't now one of the main
He
Avengers,
is now, but at that time...
Yeah, well, the comic books came off the back of Avengers being released. So it kind of gives you like a street level what Hawkeye does when he's not avenging.
Yeah.
And it's just a really well-written story. It's by Matt Fraction. He's probably one of the better comic book writers.
Yeah.
And I've met him actually. He's quite a cool guy. Yeah, Matt Fraction also wrote Sex Criminals, which is another...
I love Sex Criminals.
Awesome comic book.
I really, really love Sex Criminals. I think it's amazing.
That started in 2014, I think.
Yes, it did.
And it's still running, I think. I read up to issue 9 or 10.
I've read the first volume of that again. I think I've read a bit of the second volume. There's something called Humble Bundle. I don't know if you've heard of Humble Bundle.
Yeah.
But they did an Image Comics bundle where you could just get a load of Image Comics, and I read quite a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Sex Criminals was one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and the artwork in Hawkeye's...
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's by
beautiful.
David Aja, who I've also met and have a sketch of. I've got Daredevil sketch by David Aja, which is prized possession.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely recommend Hawkeye, but it ended this year. This is why I'm kind of talking about it, which was sad, but it was well rounded off and it was good overall. And then a couple of other comic books, maybe just one other. Black Widow. This was by Phil Noto did the artwork. I can't remember who wrote it.
I don't know,
but
dude.
Just really basic. It was really brilliant. It was just what Black Widow gets up to, like when she's not avenging, and the artwork's beautiful. It's absolutely amazing, and it's just really like her. Like,
because again, Black Widow is not a.
Yeah,
she was never a main player in the Avengers world.
Yeah. She's just like her. You just see a lot of her dark side and a lot of her like what Black Widow is about. Big fan of the character. So. But,
Natalia Romanoff.
Yeah. So I think I'll round it up.
Round it up?
Yeah. I definitely recommend both of those titles. I've read that many other comic books.
No.
The Punisher was the same writer as Black Widow, the run, and that ended at the same time. And they had a crossover issue, which was really good. It was very similar to the start of Winter Soldier,
right?
In the boat scene.
Yeah.
Because they both kind of landed on this ship and took it over, and it was really, really good.
And we're going to see Punisher soon in Daredevil.
Yes.
Exciting.
It's exciting.
So yeah, I think that wraps it up. So there are recommendations for books from 2015.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Shall we move on to a bit of music?
Yeah. All
right.
Inexperienced section.
Yeah. So I'm not going to be saying a lot in Craig's section because it's going to make me angry. But go
more
on,
than
Craig.
likely.
Hit things off.
We decided to go for a top 3 songs.
Yeah.
But basically lead the album, maybe. Yes.
Yeah.
I've not listened to that much new music this year. I don't really tend to keep up to date with music, so I'm a big fan of very few artists.
Yeah.
And
a Paramore record didn't come out last year, so
yes, that's true.
so that's one down.
Mumford & Sons released Wild of Mine this year, which is a really good album, I thought. I know James won't agree, but...
I'm saying nothing.
And I don't really know what my favourite song, because it's a collectively good album, but I'm going to go with Believe, which is the second track on the album, and it's just I think they released that as a single, actually, before the album came out.
It was the lead single.
Yeah, and they had like a really cool video, like go around a city at night. It was really good, and I just really, really like the song. It's very chilled out.
It's different. It's not like
it's a lot different from the...
I mean, the first 2 albums were the same album.
Yeah.
Twice.
More
and a lot of people expected it to be more of the banjo type stuff.
But it was very, very different.
More electronic sounding.
Yeah. And just a nice album to listen to, I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to go with That was my first of my top 3 songs.
So I hated that song. I thought it was awful. I hate everything about Mumford & Sons though. I think they're atrocious. I think they're a scourge against music in general. But I'm gonna leave those emotions to one side. And I'm gonna talk about one of my favourite songs of this year, which is a song called No Reptiles by a band called Everything Everything. Now, Everything Everything are a local band. They're from Manchester. Met them quite a few times now. I've met them 3 or 4 times. They're a great bunch of guys. And they brought out their new album this year, which was called Get to Heaven. Now, I've loved both previous albums. They are a really, really, really good band. But this single, No Reptiles, was the 3rd single from this album. So they brought out a song called Distant Past, which was good. It was very old school, Everything Everything. They then brought out Regret, which was a little bit more sort of a doo-wop sounding. It was quite funky. And then No Reptiles was one of the later singles from it. Now, I first heard this song when I saw them live at Glastonbury this year, and the performance of that song was breathtaking. You can find it on YouTube. But Jeremy, the lead singer, puts so much passion into that song and so much emotion that it was just like it was genuinely breathtaking. It was one of my favourite Glastonbury moments of all time, I think. And since then, it's been a song that's just been on repeat on my iPhone pretty much all year, as is most of the album. But this is the standout one. We were influenced a lot by one of my favourite singers, a guy called Nick Cave, who always writes madcap, sort of zany, weird lyrics that come out of the blue and don't really make much sense and sort of draw you out of the song. And they've done that with No Reptiles with a line which goes something like, "You're a fat child in a pushchair, old enough to run, old enough to fire a gun." And it's a really weird line, but it's just, when you hear it live, it's great. It's funny and it's powerful. So yeah, that was one of my highlights.
Nice. I don't really listen to everything, but it's on the homework sheet, isn't it?
It is on the homework sheet.
It could be randomly selected at any point throughout this year.
Yeah.
So I might just listen to them anyway in preparation.
They're definitely they're worth listening to. I mean, they're not dissimilar. In fact, I was talking to someone recently about how I think Coldplay's new album is quite similar to some of Everything's older stuff. It's that sort of hyper happy, like overly happy songs. Passion Pit's another good example of a band like that. But I love Everything. They're definitely worth listening to if you've not checked them out before.
Nice. So I'm going to go with the...
This brings us on nicely to Craig's next...
No, it's not. No, I'm not going to talk. I'm going to
You're going to reverse the order. Craig's going off script.
I'm going off script.
He's going rogue, everyone.
But I just want to say that in.
Okay.
Good. So I like the new Adele song, Hello, which came out this year. I'm not... My music's very limited.
Craig.
I'm just struggling, but I just tried to keep up. But it's a great song. She's just awesome. She's won an Oscar. She's just amazing.
Has she won an Oscar?
Yeah.
Oh, for Skyfall.
For Skyfall, yeah. Didn't get number 1, but she won an Oscar. Unlike Sam Smith. Well, you don't know if he's nominated.
Yeah,
yet,
he might not be nominated.
But yeah, I just think it's a powerful song. It's quite cool. Nice.
Is it Hello from the outside or Hello from the other side? I never know which one.
Does she not say both? Like at different points.
You're the expert, Craig.
I'm not. Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of any other song that would have chosen, so I went with this. And
oh no!
I actually like this song.
Hello? Hello there. Hi. There you go. There's a live phone call from TalkTalk, who is not our internet service provider.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Anyway, go on. What are we talking about? Adele. Oh, Jesus. If we're not finished with Adele.
We can finish if you want.
No, I mean, Hello. It was alright. It was a song that came out.
It's one of those songs you can just burst into singing at any point just because it's fun. It's a fun song.
I mean, I saw...
Have you not seen the narration, the David Attenborough narrating the video?
No.
That was quite funny, actually. He's just sat there, like, narrating what's in the video while he's on Radio 1 or something.
Right.
It was amusing.
I know I've seen the parodies, because I saw Lionel Richie last year as well.
Yeah.
Glastonbury. And I've seen the parodies that have done the Hello.
Yeah.
Is it me you're looking for? But yeah, I mean, Adele's fine. She's a great singer. I'm never going to deny that she is an amazing singer. but the music's just not for me. I don't get anything from it. What I did get good feelings from is Tame Impala's new record. It was very, very good.
See what you did there?
Look at that. Look at that segue. That was good, right? So Tame Impala brought out their lead single "Let It Happen" earlier last year, and that is an amazing song. It's a 7.5 minute epic of a song. Now I've loved all the previous Tame Impala albums. Singles like "Solitude Is Bliss" and "Apocalypse Dreams" are great, and I saw Tame Impala a couple of years back at Glastonbury. They're an amazing live band too, who have a really good sort of improvisational jam session live on stage for like 20 minutes of the set. It's great, really good stuff. And up until this point, they've been a very psychedelic garage rock type of band. But they brought out "Let It Happen," and the sound has totally changed. They've gone from these really heavy guitars to sort of synth heavy, still very psychedelic, but much more sort of pop focused in a way. And "Let It Happen" was like the best example of this. It's a really good song, and there's a section right near the middle where it sounds like the song is skipping. It's like it's skipping a beat, but it's not, and it culminates in this absence of sound, which is done so well on the song. The album itself was great. It was called Currents, but that was definitely the standout single from it. Really good song. Craig's never listened to Tame Impala.
No, obviously.
Yeah, but I might give him a little bit of homework for it. He'll have heard a couple of songs. You'll know "Half Full Glass of Wine." You don't know the name of the song, but you'll know the song.
It's pretty good. The song.
It was on an advert.
Cool.
Go on, Craig. Hit me with your last one now.
The last one.
Yeah.
So, well, we've already had an episode about Coldplay.
We have.
Very first pilot episode.
Yeah.
So it's a song off their new album, Head Full of Dreams. It is Everglow.
We didn't mention that song on the podcast.
Did we not?
No.
Well, I'm surprised at that.
Yeah.
We talked about it getting released on Spotify.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
It is the best song on the album, possibly up there with one of my favorite Coldplay songs
of all time.
Ooh, it's just
bold claim.
I just love that song. Just the intro, and
it is quite a good song.
It's just a beautiful song.
I've got to say, that album has grown on me a lot.
Yeah,
I have
it does that.
To
like I said, that it would for me as well, and it definitely has. Yes, and that song is just amazing. The first time I heard it, it was just like I could just feel the song. It's a bit strange. Like
you know the song "Birds," which
yes.
is the second song. Really good song.
It's very good. I thought you were going to tell me an interesting fact.
No, it's good. It really reminds me of a band called Phoenix, which are a great band.
So it's just Chris Martin at his best.
Chris Martin
playing a really nice piano intro and just giving some good lyrics and make me feel really happy and loving life as always.
And you like feeling happy, Craig?
I do like feeling happy.
There you go. If you want a happy song, Everglow is the one to go for. Whereas I'm not too happy. I just like things to be all right, which is my third song on the list by Kendrick Lamar. Look at that segue, Craig. You need to work on your segues. Mine have been stellar up to now.
All right.
Good one, Craig. So yeah, Kendrick Lamar's "All Right" was it's such a good song. It's "Pimp a Butterfly," amazing album, best album 2015, hands down. I'm a big hip hop fan.
I like my hip hop.
You like Kendrick as well.
I do like Kendrick, but I've not.
Have you not listened to "Pimp a Butterfly"?
No,
it's good.
I've heard bits and bobs of Kendrick Lamar. I quite enjoy his music.
Yep. So go and listen to Kendrick Lamar's "Pimp a Butterfly." It's good.
Okay, I'll listen to it.
Yeah, you should.
We listened to it before.
we listened to "All Right" before. Cool song. All right. Anyway, best film, best TV show. We're going to talk about that.
Something we've watched.
We're on to our something we've watched section. Now,
so we're doing TV or film?
I think we should kick off with TV because we've not really got that much to talk about with TV. I think it was a pretty weak year for TV.
Yeah,
with a couple of exceptions.
Yeah,
one of which is
Daredevil.
For sure. So good.
This is our both thing.
Yeah, I think we agree that Daredevil was probably the best TV show of last year.
Without a doubt. This section is very overlapped. We both kind of just everything we've watched. We're very similar in what our TV and film taste.
In our taste.
Unlike our music taste.
Yeah, and book taste.
And book taste.
So we've sort of got a collaborative list of things that we've watched that we've really enjoyed. But Daredevil is definitely up there.
Yeah.
And as much as we've spoken about Jessica Jones before. Still haven't finished watching it. Sorry. But Daredevil's better.
Yeah.
It just is.
It's just great. I don't know. It was like with the first introduction to this new Netflix Marvel collaboration, and it just kind of blew everything out of the water. It was just
really did.
This is something different and very dark. Yeah, it's dark. It's just, I don't know. It's
what you want Daredevil to be.
Yeah.
If you're reading a Daredevil comic, you're imagining it the way that it's been filmed. It really sticks to the source material while still making it its own thing.
And it's very like you can easily get into it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And the fight scenes in it are great.
Yeah, and the
Kingpin's really well played.
Amazing. I just love the wall.
Yeah.
And the painting. It's just
the crime noir feel to it is really good.
Yeah.
The way that it's really just about Daredevil and Kingpin for just a series. It's just their struggles.
Which is what we all wanted to see, really.
And I'm hoping it improves. I'm hoping it stays at that level.
I think it will.
From what I've seen of the promo shots of Series 2, it looks like it's going to... Yeah, it looks like it's going to continue.
Especially with the Punisher being in it.
Yeah.
It's going to be what we've all wanted to watch, I reckon.
Yeah.
Which is out in March. March the 18th. I mean, that feels like next day. That feels like tomorrow.
It's really soon. It's coming around really quickly.
I just can't
That's
believe.
one of my favourite things about Netflix originals is that they do follow a pretty strict yearly cycle.
Yes.
You don't have to wait long to have your next series. And unlike Sherlock.
Yeah, like Sherlock. Damn you, Gatiss and Moffat.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix on the whole have done great things this year.
Yeah. Netflix is great. I like it when I find a Netflix series that I love and then they disperse through the year, because then you've got very little time to wait for something really good. And shortly after Daredevil, this new series, this series came out.
Yeah. So the next series that we're going to talk about is another Netflix original, which is
also set in New York.
Also set in New York.
And this is my way of segueing it.
Go on, Craig. You can do it.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Unbreakable.
They're alive, damn it.
It's a miracle. It's catchiest theme song of the year. It is. Easily catchiest theme song. Best theme song.
And it's so good.
It's really, really good. I didn't think I was going to like it.
I thought I'll give this a go. It's Aaron from the US office, and she's a great character.
Yeah.
And she's a great actress, and I just thought, I'm going to give this a go and see what it's like, and it was just really, really good.
Funny, it's original.
Yeah.
Best theme song as well.
Yes, and there's so many like really good supporting cast.
The supporting cast is really, really, really well done. Who's the guy?
I
can't remember his name, but his name is the same. Ty Tony.
I was thinking
something like that.
Ty something.
Ty something. Anyway, his real life name is the same as his character's name.
Is it Tiberius?
Tiberius. It's something
like that.
But he's great.
But he is awesome. Yeah, I love the bit where he's
from 30 Rock.
Yes,
I can't remember her name. The blonde one. The one who
I'm not sure.
plays the mum.
But yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know what her name is, but
yeah, I can't remember her name either. But
she starts being a nanny, doesn't she? For that.
Yeah, she's a nanny for that family.
Yeah, and then that teenager that's like really moody.
Yeah,
it's great. Yeah, I have really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend Kimmy Schmidt if you put off because it looks a bit sort of saccharine and a bit
it doesn't
sugary sweet.
It has that.
It's dark though. Yeah. It's got a couple of dark moments to it.
Its marketing is like very bright and colourful.
Yeah,
and.
Yeah.
Like it.
And finally, Craig's not seen this TV show, but I'm just going to throw this out there as one that I've watched this year that I really enjoyed. Not a Netflix original. It's not even an Amazon original, actually.
I thought it was on Amazon.
But it is on Amazon Prime. And it's a series called Mr. Robot, which is about a hacker who...
Not the New Zealand dance.
Not...
war dance ritual. A hacker.
Is that what that's called?
It's called the hacker, yeah.
It's not about that. It's about a computer hacker, an incredibly gifted computer hacker who joins this elite group of other computer hackers called Mr. Robot to bring down an evil corporation. But it's very true to life. It's a bit close to the knuckle. It's very dark, very well acted, amazingly acted. The guy in it, I can't remember the name of the character, but the guy in it is played by the same guy who played the mummy character in Night of the Museum. You remember that film?
Yes. Yes.
He's that guy.
What, Ben Kingsley's son?
Yeah.
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 I can't remember I don't know who he is.
That character, anyway. That's who Mr. Robot is. But yeah, it's definitely... I'd go as far as say it's one of the best TV shows.
I need to give it a watch because
I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I've had a couple of recommendations already about it. Yeah.
Something that I've not watched yet, which I'm just going to throw out there as something I'm going to start watching, which I've heard really good things about, is Making a Murderer.
Oh, I've not heard
you watched that? So Making a Murderer is a Netflix original documentary.
Oh.
I don't know all that much about it, so I can't tell you that much. But there's a trailer for it on YouTube if you want to check that out. But all I've heard, all over social media, all over when I'm at work, everyone's talking about Making a Murderer. They're saying that they binged like 7 episodes in a day because it's that good. So I'm gonna check that out. I think it's a true story about a guy who gets wrongly imprisoned.
Yeah,
and he's in prison for 18 years, and within a week of him being let out, because they exonerate him, he kills someone.
Yeah,
and that's what it's about. And it's filmed over the course of 10 years.
Wow.
But it looks great.
So, a bit like Boyhood.
Yeah, I guess so.
In that kind
of... It reminds me of Serial, which is something we'll probably be talking about quite soon. But yeah, Mr. Robot, I'd recommend. Making a Murderer, I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
So that's my little wrap up of TV. You got anything else to talk about TV wise?
Well, I'm excited for the next series of House of Cards and this season.
I thought House of Cards was a bit weak.
Yeah, the third series is a bit weaker than the other two. But yeah, we'll probably get talking about the fourth series when that comes out.
Close to the time. Yeah, same with Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
And is Luke Cage out this year?
Not sure.
Might be. I feel like something's out that's another Marvel one that's out soon.
It will be.
But yeah, TV. That's a little wrap up. We could talk about other stuff like Game of Thrones is out, but
not worth talking about.
We'll talk about that.
I can't really, and you've not watched Better Call Saul, so
no, I've watched 4 episodes, 5 episodes. Anyway, onto film. Film. Now we've got a lot of stuff to talk about film wise. We've got.
Did we get it to 10?
Heap of yes, we did get it to 10. We should probably kick off with the bottom one because it's the one that we're both sort of met about.
Yeah, but is that the most recent? Well, not the most recent one. We'll save the big one.
Yeah, that was the most recent. Yeah. But in terms of fairly recent films, Spectre was one of them.
Yeah.
Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, I'm quite a big James Bond fan, and I thought that Skyfall was incredible.
I enjoyed Skyfall.
I love Skyfall. I think it's one of the best James Bond
Did you know
films.
that the person who did the soundtrack won an Oscar for that?
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
You know your soundtrack Oscars?
No. Adele.
Oh, right. Good one. I forgot. No. I thought you meant Craig.
You had 2 phone calls between.
It's been a busy day. I thought you meant the soundtrack. Not the song. Anyway, yeah, Adele got an Oscar for Skyfall. But yeah, I love Skyfall. Javier Bardem's great in it.
Yeah,
really well done.
Really good. But
now Spectre was a bit of a letdown compared to that. I still loved it.
It was a very. It fit with the theme of the films of this year. It was a more or less a remake of another film in the franchise, or collectively. It's not a huge difference in the storyline, but it's a really good film.
It is good.
It's really well shot and acted,
looking.
and
Daniel Craig's still really good in it. I still liked Christoph Waltz.
Yeah,
I still thought he was really good in it. Batista plays a pretty good part.
Yeah, he is really good. It's just basically a summary of James Bond, but like in Daniel Craig's version of that.
Yeah.
Which I thought, I was thinking about this, was it similar to Skyfall? Was this not in the Skyfall? Is its own story?
Yeah, Skyfall was its own story.
It's basically what I was expecting, a new story from Spectre.
Yeah, and the Spectre surprisingly pulled quite a lot from the earlier films, which I didn't expect because the Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace did well.
Yeah.
But they're not something that I've thought, I recognise that character. Yeah. When they went to that guy's log cabin, I was like, I think I know this guy, but it was fine. It was a good James Bond film.
It's a really, really good film. It
had a lot to live
fantastic.
Up to from Skyfall, and I don't think it quite reached that. Now, Christoph Waltz said he will do more James Bond films. I don't know if you read this.
No.
But he said he would only do them on the condition that Daniel Craig did them too.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Daniel Craig's got all that much James Bond left in him, to be honest.
I think
distancing himself from the character at the moment.
I'd like to see him do one more. I feel like that'd be, for me, that'd be a trilogy of Skyfall, Spectre, and this.
The newer one.
Yeah, a newer one. Because I feel like Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace are kind of, there's a bit of a gap between Quantum of Solace.
Quantum of Solace is
Skyfall.
Not great. Casino Royale is pretty good.
I love Casino Royale. I think it's one of the best James Bond films.
Casino Royale is pretty good.
But they don't feel like James Bond films.
Nah.
Because it feels like it just doesn't have the same theme, whereas Skyfall and Spectre do have that like tone of James Bond, which is what people want, really.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought Spectre was excellent, but the story was just not that exciting. But it was just a nice film to watch.
We have seen it before. That's it, wasn't it? We've seen that film before. So, but yeah, let's move on. Next film I've not seen, but you have.
Mission Impossible 5. Was it Rogue Nation? Rogue Nation. I've seen all the other ones. I enjoyed the original, the first two Mission Impossible films.
Yeah,
really, really good.
I watched those recently though, and they've not aged well.
No, especially the first one. The first one looks like it was shot in the 70s.
Yeah.
The second one's okay.
The second one's okay.
That looks, I don't know when that came out, but that's not aged that badly. That was. I really enjoyed Mission Impossible 2.
Is 3 the J.J. Abrams one?
Yeah, the third one I'm not a massive fan of.
Is that the one with Philip Seymour Hoffman?
It could be. I don't remember it that well.
Right.
The third one because I didn't enjoy it that much. And then I absolutely love Ghost Protocol.
I love Ghost Protocol. I think Ghost Protocol is great.
Was stunning film. It was well made, and Simon Pegg's in that as well. He's in Mission Impossible 3.
He is in Mission Impossible. I didn't realise that until I watched it recently.
But he's brilliant in the fourth one, and it's just a really good action film. It's what Mission Impossible is all about, really.
Yeah, Ghost Protocol's really good.
Which is really good. And getting back to Rogue Nation, I thought it was more of the same.
Right.
It was.
I've heard really good reviews about it.
I absolutely loved it. Not many people like Tom Cruise, but I'm a massive fan of Tom Cruise.
Right.
I just love all of. Well, I've not seen all of his films, but I love everything he's been in that I've watched. Again with Simon Pegg, he was fantastic in it as well.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, brought that comic kind of aspect.
Yeah.
I know people are getting bored of this Mission Impossible kind of line where it's not really that impossible. If he's done 5 now. But I just thought it was a very good like spy film. I am
going to watch it. I'm definitely going to check it out.
Yeah.
So the next one is one that I've seen and you haven't.
I have not seen it. No.
I'll probably both of the ones that I've seen and you haven't. I'll talk about which are both. I mean, somewhat similar. They're both science fiction. So I've seen The Martian and Ex Machina this year, and both of which were great. Ex Machina was a bit of a hidden gem, particularly in the UK. It's getting quite a big cult following in America at the moment, but I've not heard that many people speak about it over here. But it's a great film. Have you watched Black Mirror?
No.
The Charlie Brooker series.
Is that Channel 4?
Yeah, it was on Channel 4. Netflix have just picked it up for a series. But yeah, anyway, Ex Machina feels like it's part of that universe.
Yeah.
It's effectively like The Imitation Game. They're trying to do a Turing test for an android, and the main people in it are Domhnall Gleeson and Oscar Isaac.
Nice.
Who we're going to mention later on, both of which we're going to mention later on. But it's trying to find out whether this robot is human or not, or at least thinks it's human or not. And it's just a story about that relationship between the Turing testee and the Turing test itself. And it's great. It's so well written. And this was a debut film for the guy who did it. But if you get the chance to watch it, I would definitely recommend it. And The Martian, I mean, we've mentioned The Martian before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great film. I know you're not a big Ridley Scott fan.
No, I need to get around to watching it at some point.
But it was definitely worth watching. Matt Damon's great in it. The whole supporting cast is amazing in it. Cool.
I think I am past the point of where I've got over the book now, so I might give the film a watch.
Give it a shot. It's beautiful looking film. Going back to ones that we've both seen. So Inside Out is a film that we both...
A Pixar film?
Both saw. Well, I love Pixar, you love Pixar.
I love Pixar.
I'm sure we'll just talk about Pixar one day.
Yes.
It's definitely a passion of mine. And Inside Out is the latest Pixar release.
Yes.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
It was really good. I don't think it's the strongest Pixar film.
No, it was a different type of Pixar. It didn't really feel vibe. Like Pixar, did it?
No. But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I did think it was a good film.
It was just really clever.
It was clever, it was funny.
Yeah, and they had a very classic kind of Disney feel.
Yeah, it was very charming.
Yeah.
Like, all the characters were good to watch.
Yeah.
And it was quite sad as well, as all Pixar films usually are. There is a bit of a tearjerker moment.
Always.
Yeah, but Inside Out is great.
Yeah, fantastic. I like the train of thought.
Train of thought is
quite really clever.
Yeah, that was clever. And then next is, I mean, I know that was kind of a brief walk through Inside Out, but there's not really much to say about it. It's
just a good film.
Yeah, it's just a good film.
All of these films are good. Oh, we wouldn't be talking about
them. So in terms of the next couple of Disney films, we've got Ant-Man.
Yes.
And Age of Ultron.
Yes.
Now, I loved Ant-Man.
Yes, well, I think we should talk about Age of Ultron.
Well, I was going to
chronologically.
say, I loved Ant-Man. I liked Age of Ultron.
Yes. Age of Ultron.
How many times did you see it? I feel like we've already asked this question.
We probably have. I have seen it 6 times since it came out. 6 or 6, yeah. It's again, it has that. We've seen this before.
Yeah, we totally have.
It's I feel like they were very restrained with what they could do. Well, what Joss Whedon could do.
Yeah,
I feel like he was very held back. It has aspects of Joss Whedon in like the party scene at the start,
which is an amazing scene.
Yeah,
great scene.
The dialogue at times is definitely Joss Whedon, but I think a lot of it isn't him.
Yeah,
a lot of it's like, you can't do this because we've got Civil War coming up and we need to rein it in.
No, I think Civil War is going to be an amazing film.
Yes,
I think that's going to be a good film. But Age of Ultron, it just feels like you've got Avengers 1, Avengers 1.5, which is Age of Ultron, and then Avengers 2 really is going to be Civil War.
Yeah.
That's how I feel it's going to go, because, I mean, Age of Ultron was okay. We have spoken about this before, because we mentioned that tonally the trailer was so much better than the film.
Yeah.
It was so much darker and more powerful. And
we wanted to see the film be a lot darker than it was. And it was just a bit
Ultron
disappointing.
was just Tony Stark 2.0. I mean, I love Spader. I think Spader's a really good actor.
And his voice is amazing.
Yeah, and I know that Joss Whedon said he's the only person that I want to play Ultron.
Yeah.
And I can understand that. I think it is well done, and I know that he had hardly any editing to his voice. It was just his voice.
Surprise me.
It was just fine.
Yeah.
Which Avengers usually isn't. Avengers is great, but it was just okay.
Yeah, I don't know, every time I watch it, I don't think it's a bad film.
No.
I do enjoy watching it. I think it has really good moments in it.
Yeah.
And it's just good. I like the Science Bros kind of aspect of it.
Yeah.
Which is what we wanted to see more of from, like, watching the first one.
Yeah.
Again, it just feels like the same story from Avengers. Like, this bad guy wants to kind of have the world, be at the top of it. Like, it's not the same in terms of like he's rising a city and destroying the world, but it's more or less the same thing, which is just a bit disappointing. But I think it's going to get better. I don't think it's going to get.
It will.
Yeah.
And we're all building up for Infinity War anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It was restricted through the Infinity Stone, and but it was a good film.
Well,
Worth talking about it. Yeah, Ant-Man was just something different. Like we expect something different now every time when we go to watch a Marvel film, and it was just a heist film. And
it was like an Ocean's 11 film.
And it's quite comical, and we expect of Paul Rudd in that, and Edgar Wright's writing as well. Yeah,
which definitely shines through. That my biggest gripe with Ant-Man is that it should have been Edgar Wright.
I don't understand why. I'd be interested in to see what the reasons.
He would have done with it. Well, he wanted it to be an 18. He wanted it to be an R-rated film, and Disney aren't ever going to be happy with something like that. So they forced him to change a lot of it, and it just got to the point where I think they both gave up on it.
Yeah.
And the new director, who did Yes Man, I can't remember his name. He directed Yes Man as well. He did a fine job with it.
Yeah.
But there are scenes where you can feel Edgar Wright shine through.
Yeah.
There's a particular scene where the character of Michael Payne is discussing how he gets hold of the information about the Ant-Man suit. And that scene is Edgar Wright all over, as is the fight scene within the suitcase where The Cure starts playing. Because up until that point, we had no indication about the music taste of either of them. Whereas I feel like if Edgar Wright was in the helm, that would be an important plot point, and that would have come to the culmination of that suitcase scene. And it would have been funny then. Whereas it was just sort of weird when you were watching it. But
and the whole end scene with the Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, exactly. Thomas the Tank Engine and the giant ant too.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I never thought I'd feel upset about an ant dying, but when Anthony died, I was heartbroken.
It's very similar to when Hedwig dies in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Spoilers. No, I'm joking.
So yeah, Ant-Man was really good. Definitely a bit of a refreshing take on a Marvel film.
Yeah.
I've not seen the next film.
It is The Theory of Everything.
Yeah. Which we are actually unsure whether that come out last year or not.
I think
we don't know. It might have come out 2014.
Eddie Redmayne won the Oscar this year. So
yeah,
that's my reason as to why.
We'll go with that.
I can't remember I watched it.
I've not seen it.
I've seen it, obviously. With I think I watched it this year.
Right.
I can't pinpoint the exact moment when I watched it, but it was I thought it was a really good film, really good biopic, especially from such an amazing scientist. And it's just a very good story. Like, what
is it? Sad?
It's sad. Yeah, there is a very sad moment in it. But it's obviously very sciencey. I enjoyed. It's a really good film. I think he definitely deserves the Oscar
for it.
I think he did a terrific job.
He could be tipped for the next Oscar as well, couldn't he? He's currently in the Danish Girl. Is that?
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it's called. Maybe he'll get a twofer. Two for two.
Like Tom Hanks.
Yeah. So yeah, I've not seen it. I've heard good things about it. I watched The Imitation Game, which came out at a very similar time.
Yeah,
and they were both biopics about famous scientists in history. Now, I really liked The Imitation Game, so I'm sure I will like The Theory of Everything. And a lot of it was filmed at my university, which would be nice to watch in that regard. Has it got your seal of approval?
Yeah, definitely.
That seems a bit half. That seems like a bit of a half approval.
Half approval.
Yeah,
because they didn't get there. Yeah,
there we go.
It's great, and Daredevil's in it.
Is it?
Yeah.
What character does he play?
He plays like he's like Stephen Hawking's wife's kind of this guy she meets, and then they kind of, because obviously they kind of fall in love.
Right.
He plays him.
Okay.
Is it Charlie Cox?
Charlie Cox, yeah.
Is that his name? Yeah. Yeah. He very well disguised.
Okay. Can you not recognise him?
No, but Daredevil came out after. So.
Yeah, that's true. Right, so we're now on our top 3 films. I mean, not that we've really done an order to this. We've just sort of
these are just the top 3 of the list, not necessarily.
I think these are my top 3, though.
Really?
I'd say so.
I think I'd pick Mission Impossible, actually.
Mission Impossible is your top one?
Not the top, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
And Marvel films, they just get automatic top 3 anyway. But aside from the Marvel films, Mission Impossible. I think we should talk
about, this is definitely one of my favourite films this year, is Kingsman.
Yes.
The Secret Service, which I saw in the cinema and now I've recently bought on Blu-ray. And what a great film.
Yeah.
What a really, really, really good film. It came out of the blue, really. I saw the trailers for it and thought that looks pretty funny.
Yeah.
Saw the film and thought, wow, great idea.
Funny.
Amazingly directed, beautiful looking. Has possibly one of the greatest scenes of all time, the church scene.
Yeah.
Which is far and away just the best scene of the film. And one of the best scenes of the year, it goes far to say. If you've not seen Kingsman, you really owe it to yourself to go and see it.
It's just like a combination of James Bond, Kick-Ass.
Yeah. Same director as Kick-Ass.
Yeah. Well, it's the same writer as well.
It's Matthew Vaughn. Is that his name?
Is it?
Might not be Matthew Vaughn.
I thought it was the Kick-Ass guy. It was Mark Miller, but maybe it is Matthew. Oh, the director.
No, the director is Matthew Vaughn.
Is it Mark Miller?
Mark Miller wrote which it was a Marvel run, Kingsman.
Was it?
It was a Marvel comic. Yeah.
I thought it was Titan or something like that.
No, as far as I know, it's Marvel. Maybe I'm wrong again, but yeah. But anyway, it's great. The young lad who I'd not really seen in anything before. He was really good.
From Skins or something like that.
I don't know. I know that he's about to be in Eddie the Eagle, which again is Matthew Vaughn. Yeah. Well, he produced it. But yeah, I've not really seen him in anything else. But he was good. He played a great character in that.
Yeah, it was a great film.
Yeah, for sure.
And Samuel Jackson
with a list. Brilliant. Yeah, great character, great bad guy.
Yeah.
I really liked Mark Strong in that film as well.
He was good. He was good. Scottish, wasn't he?
Yeah. Michael Caine was good.
Yes. Really was.
Yeah. What a good film.
And whatever his name is.
Colin Firth?
Yeah,
Colin Firth plays a really good character.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and that honestly, that church scene, the music on it, the way it looks like it's shot in one take.
Yeah.
Great. We'll go and watch Kingsman. Pause the podcast. Go and watch Kingsman. Come back and listen to our top 2 in terms of a list. So, should we go with Mad Max next?
Yes.
Now I watched Mad Max. It was quite early on in the year. It was.
Yeah, the Fury Road. It came out. When did it come
February?
out? Was it that early? I don't think it was that early.
It's pretty early. Oh, it was a summery film, though, wasn't it?
It was a summery film. It would have been after it.
Like
it came
May,
out.
maybe?
It definitely came out after Avengers.
Yeah.
It May, June, July time.
Round about then. But yeah, Mad Max, top film.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a good film.
Story wise, really bad.
Yeah,
there's no story to it. It's literally we're gonna drive over here and then we're gonna drive back, and that's it. There's no other story to it really.
That was my issue with it.
Yeah,
it's very well made. It's very the set and designing and the
it looks gorgeous.
Yeah. Everything, the design behind the film is fantastic. Like
the action's great as well.
Yeah, the action's great. Tom Hardy's amazing.
Yeah. For someone who hardly says any lines in a film.
Yeah, exactly.
He does it really well. But yeah, as an action film, it's a top film. Explosions galore, beautiful looking set pieces, as well as the majority of it was practical effects, which is always great to see in a film.
Yeah.
Now, I hadn't seen any of the other Mad Max films.
No,
I understand that this doesn't really have all that much to do with the other Mad Max films.
Are they making another one?
I'm sure they will.
I'm
sure they will. I'd be shocked if they didn't.
It was good. It doesn't get my seal of approval because it wasn't.
It definitely gets my recommendation.
Yeah.
I'd see that. I think I've seen it 3 times this year up to now, and I'd watch it again, like in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
I'd watch it. I'd definitely watch it again. I'd like to watch it again. But for now, it's not.
Yeah.
Not one of my favourites, but good.
Now, our top film.
Everyone.
The only reason it's really top is because we saw it together like the other week. And this is going to top a lot of people's lists.
Yeah, it's just the biggest film.
And it literally is now the biggest film of the year.
It is.
And it's Star Wars. It recently became the highest grossing film, at least in America, over Avatar.
Really?
Yes. Just yesterday.
I heard that, but I didn't think it was like...
It's not, as far as I know, it's not worldwide highest grossing yet.
Oh, yes, it is in America.
In America.
It's not been released in China yet. So.
Right. So there's still room for it to hit that height. But yeah, Star Wars, man, what a film.
Yes.
What a film. Now, we've already spoken privately a little bit about our problems with it. Now, I don't know whether to leave those problems at the door when we talk about it. I mean...
For me, I didn't really care about the problems.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is Star Wars, you know.
It is Star Wars. And it really is Star Wars.
It has aspects that are like, could have been done better, but it didn't need to be.
It's a remake.
Yeah.
They've just remade A New Hope for our generation.
Yeah, basically.
Like, we've still got that nostalgia there. But nostalgia was my problem with it, but I've gotten over it now.
Yeah, I have no problems with it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was, like we were saying, it was really well shot. Daisy
Ridley, incredible. Yes. Rey is, what a great character.
I know. Exactly.
What a strong female character. It's just what, like, it's been crying out for the Star Wars franchise for just a really good female character, and they've got it now. Finn, again, brilliant. Han Solo and Chewie played a way bigger part in the film than I thought they were going to.
I thought they'd have like a kind of
cameo sort of appearance. But
like General Organa's kind of role was about the right amount of screen time.
Yeah.
But I thought he had to be in it.
Yeah, he did have to be in it. BB-8, best droid.
Yes.
BB-8
from the start, from the very first shot.
So good. Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Good bad guy. Poe Dameron, sort of a weak character, but he had some good flight scenes. They were pretty cool. But he's Oscar Isaac, so that's why I wanted to mention him. And General Hux with Domhnall Gleeson, the Nazi officer guy.
Yeah.
I really like that scene. Some people had a bit of a problem with that scene, but I thought that was a cool scene. The only scene that I really didn't like was the rolling monster ball things.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little bit contrived, But that's it. That's it, really. And if you can get over that scene, which is a fine scene...
It's in there to introduce Chewie, isn't it? And Han Solo. That's why it's in there. It's worth a watch, definitely, and you probably already watched it.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you've not seen it and you're listening to a geeky podcast like this one.
Yeah, it's Star Wars.
It is Star Wars.
Basically.
I'm looking forward to Rogue One, which is the film that's coming out this year.
Yeah.
Which is being done by Gareth Edwards, who did Godzilla. I think that's going to be quite a good film.
I'll be watching the spin-offs, but I won't be like getting that hyped.
Yeah.
I'm a reasonably big Star Wars fan, but not in terms of Star Wars fan. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but
yeah, Star Wars. That's got the Just Cause Cast seal of approval.
Just Cause Cast.
That's a double
stamp.
It's a double stamp. There we go. So that's our that wraps up our year, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Have we got anything else to mention? I don't think so. I think we're.
It's been a very good year.
It has, particularly for film. I feel like it's been quite a strong year for film.
Especially, franchise films.
Yeah.
It's been good for. Because everything's a franchise film, more
These
or less,
days.
that we've talked about. I can't see The Martian's not. Ex Machina's not.
Inside Out sort of is.
Inside
Out it's a Pixar film. Theory of Everything.
No.
Kingsman. Not
really.
There you go. That's half the films we spoke about.
True. But it feels like a franchise year.
Yeah, it has.
We could talk about the bad franchise films that we've not mentioned.
We're not going to talk about that.
Because we've not really got time for waste our time on that.
No, I'm not going. We're not going to talk about Fantastic Four.
No, what? Or that Jurassic thing.
I mean, Jurassic World was fine.
It was fine. I had Chris Pratt in it. That was it basically.
Chris Pratt was good. It actually had a good bad guy. I feel like the dinosaur was actually pretty good.
Fisk?
Is it what?
No, the bad guy.
I don't mean the actual guy. I mean the dinosaur.
Oh, right.
The dinosaur was pretty good because it was an evil dinosaur.
It was. Well, they're all portrayed as evil, surely.
No, they're not. T-Rex is just a T-Rex, man. This dinosaur was evil because it went out of its way to kill stuff.
True. The raptor scene was cool. But
yeah, that one, Fantastic Four, which I'm not gonna lie, I've only seen like half an hour of it, but then I gave up.
It's not worth watching.
Yeah,
just
this is coming from a big Fantastic Four fan, not me, Craig.
Yeah, just don't watch it. Don't waste your time.
Time.
Unless you want to laugh and then watch it and laugh for the final 20 minutes of it because it's hilarious.
But yeah, that's that. I guess that's it.
Yeah, we're done. We're done here.
We're done, you rings. In terms of the next episode, are we going to do it? Things we're looking forward to?
We could do, but we could just do a section of the next show about that.
Yeah,
I think because this show's been quite hefty.
This is a bumper episode.
Yeah.
It's a big old episode.
Whereas if we have another one like this, it'd be a bit heavy.
People might be getting tired of us, tired of our shenanigans.
So I think we'll go back to normal setting, but have like a bit of the start maybe.
Yeah, okay. Let's do that.
Because I've got a few things to talk about.
Yeah, I've not got any books that I'm looking forward to.
I've got books.
Have you got books you're looking forward to?
I've got books. Yes. It came out last year, but
hey, don't be spoiling it now. No.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for this book.
We've definitely got films.
Get hype about this reveal. But there's definitely films, and James will have some kind of music to talk about. There's
a lot of music I'm excited about. Oh, I need to just mention this because we talked about it in today's episode.
Yes.
So this is a spoiler. But one of the episodes that I'm looking forward to, one of the albums I'm looking forward to this year is the new Radiohead album.
Ah.
But Radiohead last month debuted their version of the Spectre song.
Ah.
And it was amazing.
What, the writing on the wall?
No, because it was their own. They got asked to do it.
Right.
And they brought out a song called Spectre.
Oh.
And you should check that out because it's great. And it's better than Sam Smith.
He's got a bit of a... That's twice we've put Sam Smith down in this episode.
Hate Sam Smith. Sam Smith, if you're listening to this, hate you, man.
Definitely listening.
Anyway, because you mentioned Spectre today, I thought it was worth mentioning that the song could have been good, and they blew it.
Yeah.
They blew it. But yeah, next time you'll hear the other albums I'm looking forward to this year, which I have got quite a few of. The films to look forward to, TV shows, and books. Yeah. All right, well, I was James.
And I was Craig.
And this was JustCauseCast.
Goodbye.
See you in a bit.